Good evening and welcome to Global Daily News. Thank you for joining us for a comprehensive update on the latest developments in the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. Tonight, we bring you detailed coverage of a large-scale overnight assault that has once again targeted Ukraine's critical energy infrastructure, leaving thousands without power and raising urgent questions about international military support. Ukraine has endured another intense night of attacks as Russian forces launched a coordinated barrage of drones and ballistic missiles across several major cities. The strikes primarily targeted energy facilities, causing widespread power outages, damaging heating systems, and injuring civilians. The capital, Kyiv, along with the cities of Dnipro, Kyiv, and Odesa, were among the hardest hit. The renewed assault comes at a crucial moment in the conflict, as Western military aid dynamics shift significantly and European nations attempt to compensate for a dramatic reduction in United States support. Ukrainian authorities report that at least 7 people were injured in the attacks, including 2 in Kyiv. According to Kyiv's mayor, Vitaly Klitschko, the capital experienced what he described as a massive and coordinated strike aimed at crippling the city's energy supply. Approximately 2,600 residential buildings in Kyiv have been left without electricity or heating after a major power plant sustained heavy damage. Visual evidence released by local officials shows significant structural destruction at energy facilities, some of which have been repeatedly targeted in recent weeks. In the southern port city of Odesa, nearly 300,000 residents were left without electricity and running water. Officials also confirmed that close to 200 buildings lost heating, a serious concern given the continued vulnerability of civilian infrastructure during winter conditions. Ukrainian military sources stated that Russia deployed at least 24 missiles and more than 200 drones in the overnight operation. While Ukrainian air defenses intercepted many of the incoming threats, several missiles penetrated the defensive shield, underscoring Kyiv's repeated appeals for enhanced air defense systems, particularly those capable of intercepting ballistic missiles. These attacks occur against the backdrop of a major shift in international assistance to Ukraine. A recent report by the Kiel Institute for the World Economy indicates that U.S. aid to Ukraine fell by 99% in 2025 compared to previous levels. The dramatic reduction reflects a significant change in Washington's policy approach toward the conflict. However, the same report notes that European countries have stepped up their contributions in response. Financial and humanitarian aid allocations from Europe have increased by 59%, largely supported by European Union institutions. Military assistance from European nations has also surged, rising by approximately 2/3, with Northern and Western European countries leading the effort. The United Kingdom has announced an urgent military assistance package valued at more than £500 million. Notably, £150 million of that total will be used to purchase US-made air defense equipment under a NATO-backed initiative. This marks the first time the UK has directly allocated funds specifically to acquire American weaponry for Ukraine within this framework. Speaking ahead of a meeting of defense ministers, the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, emphasized that while the United States continues diplomatic efforts aimed at achieving a just and lasting peace, Russia's continued targeting of civilian infrastructure makes sustained allied support essential. Rutte stressed that Ukraine's security is directly linked to the broader security of NATO member states. He stated that allies must ensure that once the war eventually ends, Russia will not be in a position to attempt another invasion. NATO officials also confirmed that discussions are ongoing regarding the coordination of long-term military assistance and the reinforcement of Ukraine's defensive capabilities. Despite increased European engagement, debates continue among NATO members regarding the scale and structure of contributions. Some countries have expressed hesitation about committing additional funds, while diplomatic negotiations are ongoing. This political discussion highlights a broader strategic challenge: how to balance support for Ukraine's immediate defense needs with efforts to facilitate potential peace talks. Meanwhile, on the ground, Ukraine continues to face sustained aerial bombardment. Ukrainian officials have reiterated that while European aid is significant, it remains insufficient to fully compensate for the previous scale of American military assistance. Air defense systems remain the top priority, particularly as Russia continues its campaign targeting energy infrastructure. As Ukraine confronts another wave of destruction to its energy grid, the humanitarian and strategic implications continue to deepen. Civilians face power outages, loss of heating, and disrupted essential services, while military and political leaders across Europe grapple with how to maintain sufficient support. The conflict shows no immediate signs of de-escalation. Diplomatic efforts continue, but missile strikes and drone attacks persist. With U.S. aid drastically reduced and European nations stepping forward, the coming months may prove decisive, not only only for Ukraine's defense, but for the broader security architecture of Europe. Thank you for watching Global Daily News. Stay with us for continued updates and in-depth analysis.